What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of What's Going On with eBay. Just documenting my crazy life here, so another day to document. There is something that I want to talk about first before we dig into the numbers, and that is, um, so I'm in a Facebook group. A lot of you probably already know that or are in part of the group as well. And one thing I see a lot is people will pose questions about various things, and then they'll say like they're feeling discouraged, or they're just a small seller, or um, kind of negative things about where they're at in their reselling career. And I kind of get the impression they feel a little intimidated, and that someone will say like, I know everyone in the group is big time sellers and successful and all, but if you look at it, like all these people on Facebook, YouTube, and different things, like the majority of people are not big sellers. The majority of people, I would guess, do not sell over 5 items a day. Majority, or the amount of people that sell 10, I mean, who knows? But, and then, you go 20, 100. Like, I bet very, very small percentage of people make over $100,000 in gross sales on eBay a year. I don't think there's many, percentage wise. I mean, it could be, I don't know how many sellers are on eBay. I don't remember, but it could be 100,000 people to make over 100K. But I'm just saying, percentage wise, it's small. So if you're one of these people who think, you watch YouTube videos, or you're part of a group, and you feel like you're small or whatever, or frustrated, or you don't worry about your store size and what's going on. Just think about where you want to be and what you have to do to get to that next step. It's not a matter of where you're at right now. It's just what's the direction that you're headed in, right? So for me personally, we can just use myself as an example. I have 5,100 over 5,100 listings in my store. I sold on average last month 9.7 per day. Okay. That's horrible, right? I've been doing this 3 years. The reason it's horrible is because I bought bad items. I didn't realize about sell-through rate and that kind of thing. And so it killed my store. And it took a while for that effect to happen, but it happened in a big way and killed my store. I went from, selling almost 30 a day to 3 a day, literally. And most of you know the story with the traffic and blah, blah, blah. We don't have to go over it again, but it killed my store. So now that happened in end of 2022. So I spent all of 23 learning, how do I bring my store back? What do I do? What did I do wrong? Rather than, just thinking I'm stupid, I'm an idiot. Yes, I hate losing. I'm a very competitive person. I hate that happened to me, but I'm learning from it, and I have learned a lot from it. I know so much more. I learned more in the last year than I had learned in the previous 2 years. Let's put it that way. And I'm continuing to learn more and more and more, and applying what I learn so that I can get better. So that's why we open up the second store, because the first store is going to take so long to recover. Could take a year. I don't know. We are selling a fair amount of the crap. So we're kind of purging the system. I believe once all that gets out, we'll be doing a lot better. So anyways, um, let's talk about, so yeah, just to sum up, if you're one of those people who has a smaller store or even a bigger store, but you're not selling a lot, don't feel bad. Just try to figure out what's going on. Ask me a question, ask someone a question. If they think you're an idiot and tell you, screw them. They're no good. Move on to the next person. You'll find someone to help you. Trust me. You just got to ask. So, all right, with that being said, let's look at January. This is how January wrapped up right here, right? You can see our impressions started at over 300,000. Ended at 247. Oh, I keep yawning. I apologize. Um, so who knows? January is one of the slowest months. Okay, so let's look at our sell-through rate. Okay, so we had 5160. That's how much we had listed. We sold 302 items. What did I say? 5160. Let's put how many sold for the month divided by how many active at the end of the month. Sell-through rate. So my sell-through rate is 6% because you round up, right? So technically it's 5.8%. You move the decimal point over to 5.852713. The rest is math. But so I would say I have a 5.9, I guess technically, percent sell-through rate. Is that great? No, that's not great. That is not great. Okay. So we know that at 5.9% sell-through, uh, let's do something here. You can reverse engineer the problem to make sure you did it right. Okay, so let's just say we know that at 5 point, what was it? 5.8? 5.85. So 5.9. At 5.9%, I'm making X and I'm selling 10 items. I'm selling 9.7 items a day. So if you want to double that, you got to find items that have a monthly sell-through rate of, what is that? It's almost 12%, right? It'd be 11.8%. So I got to find an item that has a 12% sell-through rate. I have to speed up my sell-through rate. Now, even at 12% sell-through rate, though, what is that per month or for the year, right? Because it's going to take, what is that? Eight is 96. So even at 12%, that's going to take 8 months, a little more than 8 months for that item to sell. So you got to look at the sell-through rates. That's the most important thing. And so that's what I've done on my first store is I looked at the sell-through rate. And so, or, items that I know are going to sell through faster. And so I can't really, I mean, I can calculate my sell through rate right now in that store, but it's not really accurate. Uh, Sorry, I'm a little tired today. It's not really accurate because it's such a new store, right? So, it's only been going 2 weeks. It only has 120 items. I think it is actually. I sold 8 items. So, I mean, if you wanted to, you could say 8 divided by 120. The devil's sell-through rate, right? So but it's not really accurate because it's such a new store. I'm sure everyone understands that. But I know what my profit per item is, and it's over $13 there. Um, yes, I would like it higher, but I also did a little experimenting. I took some items out of my store that were decent sell-through rate, not high dollar amounts, like they were $16, $17 amounts. Put them in my store and they sold within days. Right? It was only, I think, 2 or 3 items that I did that with of the lower dollar amount. I did take some others out that were higher items, and they did sell pretty quickly. So, um, yeah, we're just going to keep doing that. We're just going to keep, improving this store. I think part of the reason I yawn too is just talking so much, and I'm still fighting anxiety. Like that's an ongoing battle for 2.5 years now, but it's gotten a lot better. So, um, again, it's just like business, right? And that's one thing that I talked about emotions in the past, but another thing is like it really weighs on me that I'm failing at this. I hate it. And so I look at all these items. Like I was talking to my business partner when he was here. I've probably listed, I'm gonna guess about 20,000 items. I probably listed 20,000 items. Okay. And I'm not making, it's not like I'm making 100 grand a year. So it's kind of depressing because it's like, man, I'm doing all this work, but I've sacrificed a lot of weekends. I've worked multiple days in a row, months in a row without a day off. And excuse me, like a lot of things you do when you start up a new business. I'm not complaining. That's just, I know that's the thing you have to do. I was willing to make that sacrifice, but after 3 years, I haven't got paid for it. So it's kind of depressing. So it's hard to stay motivated when you're going through these really tough times. And that is one of the things between people who are successful and people who are not. Like, you got to push through the hard times and the failure and learn from those failures and keep going. And that's how you get, that's one of the ways and things, tools, I should say, that get you to success. So, one of the things I did is I said, okay, I'm going to make a schedule and of my day. Stupid yawning. I didn't sleep great last night either. I got an Aura ring. I don't know if you guys have heard of these. Um, it measures things like sleep, stress, activity, heart rate, oxygen level, obviously your movement. Um, tells you, your REM sleep, your deep sleep, your light sleep. Measures all these different things. It's pretty cool. I got it to help me improve my sleep because better sleep, right, uh, will help anxiety as well as exercise. And I'm a little lazy sometimes. So, okay. But so I wrote out a schedule for every hour of the day from when I want to start work to when I want to finish work. And so this is kind of just a rough draft, starting work at 9 a.m. Now, why 9 a.m.? Because when I started to get anxiety, I wasn't going to bed till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I would literally just pass out because I was so exhausted because I couldn't relax. That was the only way I could go to sleep. So that screwed up my sleep schedule because you can imagine if you're going to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning, you're not going to be getting up very early. I'd be get up at, 10, 11 o'clock. I would do shipping. After shipping, then I would do some listing. And that went on for like a year and a half. I had really bad anxiety every day, like it would just tight throat, feel like I'm choking. Excuse me. So that didn't go away. I stopped having it every day after about a year and a half. And then it started to get just a little better. Um, but my point being is that messed up my sleep schedule really bad. So like right now, I wake up at about 8:30, and my sleep doctor told me something really interesting. She said your 24-hour day cycle in your brain with your brain, right, doesn't start. It's basically cued on when you wake up. So it's more important that you wake up at the same time every day than it is you go to sleep at the same time every day. So she's like, let's concentrate. What time are you going to wake up? And I said 8:30. I can wake up at 8:30. I know that. So I've been doing that for the past, I think I saw her a little over a week ago. And so I've been doing that 8:30, boom, boom, boom. So um, I think I can actually get up. I should probably start pushing for like 8:20 because it's easier to make the smaller changes than it is to say, I'm going to get up at 7. Well, you've been getting up at 8:30. That's a huge change. It's probably not going to work. So you're just setting yourself up for failure, right? It's the same if I say, okay, I'm listing 20 a day in eBay. I'm going to start listing 50. It won't work, right? So wake up at 9 o'clock in my day at 5 p.m. And then I have a breakdown of, like, I give myself 2 hours to do 20 drafts. Now, I should be able to do that in about an hour, a little less than an hour and a half. Not the fastest guy in the world, right? Takes me on average 2 to 3 minutes to do a draft. Pictures take about a minute to a minute and a half. Why am I so slow at doing the drafts? I have no idea. I don't know. I think part of it may be because I have so many bad listings in my store, even selling similar. So, anyways, but so then I have that, and then I have, pull items for shipping, some time for research, some time for lunch and going to the post office, um, time for sourcing, time for um, researching better sourcing opportunities. So I just, I think having this schedule, I can look at it and be like, okay, we're supposed to be doing this at this time. And that'll help me get back focused into the business, take the emotion out of it, because that's really all anxiety is. That's really all when you start thinking about your failure in a negative light. You're going from your prefrontal cortex to your limbic system, right? The limbic part of your brain. So the limbic system is like reasoning and things like that, logic, right? Like, all right, let's look at this logically. Let's look at the numbers, analytical. Maybe that's why I always like math. I don't know. Maybe my brain's more like that, but or I'm sorry, limbic is emotions. Prefrontal cortex is reasoning and logic and things like that. I did that backwards. So when you have anxiety and you're in a, you have start having panic attack or anxiety attack, whatever you want to call it. It's just your brain is stuck in the emotions. How am I feeling? I don't feel good. I feel my chest is tight, my throat is tight, my arm hurts. It's hard to breathe. My chest is pounding. Whatever the anxiety thing is, your brain is using the limbic system. So to get out of that and get back to the prefrontal cortex, which says, yeah, but this isn't real. This is just anxiety giving you these symptoms. However, you would talk yourself through it, right? Like you're not having a heart attack, you're completely healthy, or um, you haven't ate anything, you're not allergic to anything, your throat's not closing up. Like that's my big one, right? So it puts you back into there. So how do you go from limbic to prefrontal? It's called grounding exercises. You can Google it. If someone walked up to you and slapped you in the face when you were having an anxiety attack, I'm pretty sure you would stop having an anxiety attack and focus on how bad your face hurts and how pissed off you are. Now, pissed off is still an emotion though, so you would probably fall back into there. But that's a whole nother subject. I know we're here to talk about eBay, but you got to understand there is a mental aspect that's very heavy, a very large part of eBay and having a business, whether it's eBay or apartments or building houses or whatever, right? So, anyways, this is my journey. So that's why I'm explaining that. I'm doing the schedule to get me into, all right, do this, do this, do this, keep me on track, keep me away from thinking about um, the emotional part of the business. It's not bad to have emotions. It's just bad when your brain wants to always be in the emotional state. You can't, that doesn't work. And that's why in like there's a lot of advertising business that really pulls into the emotions and then people get into that emotional state. And I'll say one more thing about the brain. The brain works off reward based learning. I eat a piece of cake, it tastes good. That's the reward. Your brain says, we like that, let's have more of it. We eat some Brussels sprouts, that doesn't taste good. I don't like that. I don't want more of it. Right? So the same thing, pop. It's hard for me. Look, I went to the little pops because I used to always drink the big pop a day. Now I'm on the little one. So I'm slowly, caffeine is horrible for anxiety and sleep. Caffeine stays in your body. It affects your sleep for like 5 days. It's crazy. So trying to get away from the pop. That'll help me be more healthy and so on and so forth. So there's all these different things that I'm trying to work on. I know it might sound like a lot, but it's really not. It's a lot of different items, but small changes. It's the same thing with the eBay store. All right, we need to make some small changes, or we need to make a lot of, I don't even know if I need to make a lot of changes. I need to make some changes. And the biggest thing I need to do is just buy better stuff. So if I can just focus on that when I'm at the thrift next, which I might go this weekend, I'm really going to try. The only thing that's going to stop me from going there, because it's like 45 minutes away, it's supposed to snow a lot on Saturday. Now, they're really good about cleaning the highways here. So I don't think it's going to be a problem, but that's the only thing that could stop me. I want to go down there, like I said, talk about things, how much, blah, blah, blah. Did they even have good inventory? She says she has great inventory, or her and her husband have great inventory at their thrift store. Some people think Old Navy and Gap is great inventory. You had Lululemon and Patagonia, I'd say, yeah, you got some good inventory. So, anyways, we'll see what happens with that. Um, but yeah, so for January, we sold 9.7 per day. We had 5.9% sell through rate. And now we need to up that. We need to get that higher. That's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Um, the only thing that may increase it, okay, is this right here. Let's just look at today. Of course, you can't automatically just do that for me. So we've only sold 5 today. Day's still young. Day is still young. But my point is, I'm thinking with these sales that are pretty aggressive that I got going on right now, it could it will speed up the sell-through rate on these items. And so maybe that will get that sell-through rate up. It should. And then, but let's just say you sell 6 a day and I have to get through 1,800. And I don't know that 1,800 is the number anymore. It's probably a little less. How long would that take you over 300 days? Why did I do the calculator for that? Simplest math equation. So you're looking at a year, pretty much. Like we mentioned before, at some point that scale is going to tip where there's so few bad items in our store that they're really not going to affect things much. When that day happens, it's going to be a good day, my friends. All right, well, that's 22 minutes of me talking. I hope it helps somebody. I really do. That's, my two things is just to document my journey and then to help some people if I can. I'm not here for fame or anything like that. Just, I like helping people. And sometimes doing a business, it can feel awfully lonely. So there you go. All right. Well, that is going to do it for today. We'll try to get some more sales going and keep improving things. Other than that, we will see you in the next one. Take care.